Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy.
All right, folks, here we are on Tuesday, June 25th. We're going to take a look at Mara today. So it's been a few months since we checked in on old Mara. Wanted to see how our levels are doing. Now we see the last big push came off of this about $14 level, right? 1407. That's what I have on the chart. When it sold off, it bounced straight off of there. We have 407 on the chart. It bounced here, is saying at 1418. Sorry, I keep saying 1407. And so that bounce zone held really well, put in a quick bottom here, and has been working off ever since, and had a little bit of uptrend support, which it's recently flagged itself out of. So we'll see if this starts to act as some sort of bull flag on this run up, and then this pullback to this 1930 level that we also had on the chart. And so these levels have just been holding up really well over time, and I'm pretty happy with them, obviously. Now, if we pull these off for a moment and check out where we are situated as it pertains to our EMAs, we see trying to ride and hold that 183 EMA. So that could be a really good position at which to accumulate, get ready for our next push. Now the question is, does the push come up or down? That's always the question. So looking for early indicators on that front, but all of these EMAs are coming in very tightly wound. You see the 8, 21, and 34 here are very bunched up, but it's interesting that they're getting also then very tight in to that 183 EMA. That's where it becomes really quite interesting from my perspective. It's not super common that you see that happen, just in the sense of it takes a long time for that to develop, for all of those EMAs to catch up to each other, especially of course for the 183 to get pulled in to that as well. Now if we look here at the short interest, we can see it's continued to stay relatively high as it pertains to the last year or so, and the days to cover are also maintaining a little bit higher than recent action. Certainly not as high as it was back here, say late last year. So we'll see if that continues to play a factor or not. On the order flow side of things, with the position cost distribution here, we see as of today, 32.6% of the total shares proportion are profitable. So a good ways to go still to get a more meaningful, toward 50 or over 50% in flow there. So we'll see if that's going anywhere. 4 out of the last 5 days, we have had more buy large scale orders coming in than flowing out. So we'll see if that leads to anything again in the coming days. Analyst price target average 23.56 right now, sort of spread out a bit, but no pure sell analyst ratings, at least from the ones that they're pulling in here. And you do have a couple of buys and strong buys, with the majority being in the hold, obviously. So not that we put a lot of stock in the analyst ratings here or even the price targets, but to the degree to which that influences any retail or any large orders, that could potentially be interesting. But I'm most interested in this situation right now, like I said, of this break of the uptrend support and then this recent flagging action down toward the 930. Does the 930 hold, and what role do these EMAs that are getting further and further consolidated play, and what's the big move that we get coming out of it, if any? Now on the think or swim side of things, we see per this oscillator down here, it's showing the compression as well. That's pretty obvious. Now the most interesting thing here to me is the TTM squeeze indicator is playing out a lengthy trigger while the price is situated at the mid-range of the channel. That's always the most interesting setup to me. That's always what I look for. You see back here, triggered while it was situated at the mid-range, fired, nothing really happened, re-triggered, and that's when you got a really good call by the TTM squeeze indicator from about $8 or $9, throwing it all the way up into the 30s. So huge percentage changes and gains there off of that move. just keep in mind, trigger and fire, as we see here, trigger, fire. This one resulted in a situation where it drew down from about 14.15 down to about half of that at the low there around 7.16. So it can go either direction. It's just a matter of looking for an outsized move to come and take place and let that sort of be serve the catalyst function, right? That the TTM squeeze indicator, the compression, the consolidation on the mid-range of the channel, leaving space for when there either wants to be a huge sell volume come in or huge buy volume come in, leaving plenty of space for an outsized move that is built up over time based on that consolidation around the mid-range of the channel. So that's where we are right now. We'll see what happens. Nothing major happening on the histogram. Slightly bearish momentum on the histogram, but really nothing that's any more than just a slight blip off of the baseline of the histogram itself. So if it does boom, I have 24.11, 27.01, 31.39, and 37.10. There's certainly some additional price action that'll develop in there. See this range right around here, say about 20.62 or so. Like the high 20 to 21 range has been really sticky lately, so that may continue to be the case if it does move off of that 19 up toward that 24. And if it starts to shed 16.77, 15.89, and then we have that 14.07 level that we spoke about down here. And this is a small gap. You can see down here, right, that would close at about 13.70. And from there, we're back, down pushing toward 10 if things really get juicy for the bears. You see all of this topping out at 10, bounce off of it there before it sold through it. So that would be the next sort of important range to me. Maybe a little something here around, say, just under 12. But like I said, if things get really juicy, pushing down toward that 10, 10.50 range is what I would look for ultimately. So it can move quick. So in case we don't come back and take a look at it in near enough time, I want to cover a big range here price-wise so that those are already just sort of in place. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.